Welcome back to Total Freedom Radio with Rina Lynn, the show that's all about raising the bar of knowledge, healing hurting people, and spiritual warfare. You'll find me on revelationradio.net. You'll find me on Rumble, YouTube, and Brighteon. It's at KRRB Radio at revelation.net. Revelationradio.net, and we are syndicated in 160 countries and 2 stations here in East Texas. I've got a great show for you lined up today, but before we get there, I want to show you my new book that's coming out soon. If I can find where I hid it down here in all these pictures. It would have been published already, but I had a little bit of a life change that I've been dealing with, and we'll get it up soon. Y'all watch on Amazon or go to rinalynn.com and you'll find all the book covers. You'll find the links to the radio programs, and you'll find a little bit more. I'll have some Bible study coming up there soon. You'll find the link to the ancient paganism class that I'm teaching. But today we have back with us Trisha Knaff from Blessings Are Miracles. And I want to tell you just a little bit about that organization before she starts. Um, they are an organization that helps in emergency situations with food, clothes, hygiene products, cleaning supplies, baby items, furniture, etc., whatever people need. They've noticed that most people in need have limited to no transportation, so they'll actually go around within the community and pick up the items and donate it to the people and bring them to them. So the phone number for that is 806-224-8449, and they are located in, let me pull it, Robertsville, Missouri. You'll find her on Facebook at Blessings Are Miracles. They have a face and a page and a group, and she'll tell you more about that in a little bit. And I want to put up here for just a minute, and you can run this back if you're watching it by video and take a picture of these links with your phone. If you want to put up some donations to help her do this, everything would be appreciated because we all know with the tornadoes and all the things that's going on around the world, the disasters, there is definitely a need for people to have the funds to help other people. So, Trisha, it's so nice to have you back. I'm so excited. How are you?
You. I'm doing great. How are you?
I am great. Last time we talked about your story, we talked a little bit about the program, but today, is there anything that you can share with us? People want to know more about you. I've had some interest in that, and I just want to know, is there a particular story that you just remember, a few people that you can share? Don't step on anybody's dignity, but what can you tell us about a story, a typical, are you changing your baby, you're ironing your clothes, you're in the grocery store? How do you get that first initial contact, and what happens from there?
Well, they can contact us any ways they contact us over Facebook is a lot of the way that I tell them to do it and go to our free Facebook group. Because that's where a lot of everything pretty much goes down and it takes place. And you put your needs out, what you're in need of there. And the other community members, like, well, I have this item, I have that item, because everything on our Facebook page is completely free. There you can't sell the items. If you're in need of services, nothing. Uh, so they will say, I have this item, I have that item, or other organizations be like, come here, you can get this stuff. We actually went to Secondhand Heroes in Crystal City and worked with them. They are another amazing organization. They have helped many times and they help community members all over. Anybody can come in and get whatever they need. It's like a free store. But you know, it's just they can call things like that, but we have helped. There is one person that we have helped that really stands out to me because she has helped us a lot, and she turns around and she's helping the community. But we helped in her time of need. She died 6 times on the operating table
Mm.
because she had COVID. And one of the girls in our group actually went to the hospital to see her and got her items that she was wanting. And some of the things, but just as simple as some ice. She loves ice. So it was a cup of ice, just simple little things. She got out of the hospital and she was in need of food, clothing, all types of stuff for her family, and we went around. We lived in Labadee at the time, and we actually base it out of our home. We do this out of our home. And we drove from Labadee to Washington, from Washington to Beaufort, from Beaufort to Union, Union into Fenton, then Fenton from Crystal City up to the Secondhand Heroes. We got a lot of stuff from them that day. From Crystal City back out, we stopped in Chesterfield, then we delivered it to Glasgow Village. And after that, we went home. Well, the driving that day just to Crystal City from our house is an hour and a half. And that's not counting going to Washington and Beaufort and all that too. So that was like a 10-hour day that we did. But the woman we got really close to, and she is also a victim of gun violence now. And they had to relocate because of that. And, that is really heartbreaking. And the sad story about that is it's not just her that's in our group. There's another woman that came that I actually knew from my childhood, or she knew me. I can't really remember a lot, I'm not going to lie. And she came to our first barbecue and she brought her kids and she's like, I've been following you to know who I am. And she told me who she used to be married to, that she's ex-wife. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud that you got away from him. Well, her daughter called the bingo numbers and stuff for us. She was 16. And I'm going to let you, tragically, we are going to do a memory on her this barbecue when we're doing the bingo. We're going to talk and stuff, but she is also a victim of gun violence. She was 16 years old and lost her life to her significant other. And we are doing a little thing for her. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that's going on in our community and people that we've helped. And it pulls us all different ways, at different times, because you never know what the emergency could be, from the tornado to the gun violence to domestic violence, even a house fire. You never know what that emergency is going to be. And it just seems to keep popping up and popping up and popping up, more and more of them, and it's really sad and a tragedy what's going on right now. It's actually really scary, all the tornadoes we have coming through here and things that are going on, and just everybody killing each other. It's the beginning of the end. It's been going on for a while.
Yes. I agree with that, and one of the things I keep hearing from you that's touching me is it's not just a pr you do the practical end, which is very necessary, but it's not just the practical end. You're taking care of people's souls, you're taking care of their hearts, you're helping them to get that dignity and moving from this tragedy, from this place of need, into a place where they feel loved and they feel cared for, and they can go back, and then they're coming back and doing that for someone else, and I think that's so important, and I love it. In our world today, we have those murders, we have that stuff. Selling life insurance, one of the things I've taught a lot of young people to sell life insurance. And one of the things that I always talk to them about is our accident policy because of that, because it covers murder as well. But I started keeping the stats in my area and I literally was surprised. So I am so grateful that you're doing that. Is there another story that just pops out to you that you are able to share with us?
Um, the woman with the domestic violence situation, that one really stands out to me because I'm a huge animal lover. I mean, when we moved from Labby to here, I had feral cats. Well, now I have 3 cats that are inside that used to be feral. So her being able to keep her animals and knowing that she can live on her own, and she's strong enough to do this, and that she has the willpower, and she doesn't have to do it alone. She can get a hold of us. We help her with the ride she needs. Like I said, now she has her own place. So she was so scared about losing her place and have to move back in with her daughter and have to lose her dog and her cat and stuff. And I mean, she just has her animals and she's so happy now. I'm sad because she lives farther away. I'm not going to lie. She lives farther away, so I don't get to see her as much. But her just being able to get up and be in her own place and take care of herself and get out and walk her dog every day. And not only does she do that, but she carries a little bag of extra things to the small food pantry box while she's walking her dog. So she has, somewhere to go. It's really heartwarming when you get to still be in the people's lives that you helped and they still want you in their lives and want you there with them, and you build these relationships with the people. It's amazing.
You're definitely a connector and you definitely influence people around you. And I know you shared a little bit last week that people that you don't even know come up and share that with you. Tell me about the very first time you're out, you're getting gas, you're in the grocery store, or whatever, you're living your life, you're not even thinking about it, and some absolute stranger comes up and shares with you how your work, what you do, your videos, your TikToks have made such an impact to them. How does that feel? What was your reaction inside?
Well, the first time that it happened, I was actually at an event and the lady came up and I started talking to her and telling her like who we were with Blessings or Miracles. And she's like, your Blessings or Miracles? And then she's like, are you Trisha Knaff? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, I follow you and blah, 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 blah. And I'm just sitting there like, Okay. And I could feel myself getting red, but I'm like, why are you so happy to see me? You know, and things like that. So it was just like, she was almost starstruck kind of seeing me, and it really made me feel weird because I'm like, I know that I inspired her and everything, and I'm, an inspiration to her, and that she watches my TikToks, which at like at Trisha Knaff 484, but she watches them, and just the happiness. And then when her mom came up, she's like, "This is Trisha Knapp with Blessings or Miracles," just clapping and everything. I'm like, okay. Like, I felt like, oh my, yeah, it felt so good inside. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not a movie star, honey. I am just like you. Trust me. My life is so crazy.
I love that. I've had that happen with my books, and I've also had the first time it ever happened, I was surprised. I started selling insurance because I needed a job. They first called me, I said, "No, no way would I do that." It ended up being a wonderful fit because it's helping people, and I love helping people. I don't see myself as a salesman, see myself as a consultant helping families. But I went to this big convention in Washington, DC, and everybody's coming up because you have your name tag. "You're Rena Dick, you're Rena." And I'm like, "Yeah," and I couldn't figure out what was going on, but it was unusual for a woman to be doing what I was doing back then. Now it's not at all. But it was a
Right.
very, very disconcerting to see all these people coming up. So I love that. Let me stop just a minute and acknowledge my sponsors, and then I want to get right back into that. Thank you so much for supporting our sponsors. Folks, you want to help Total Freedom Radio stay on the air? Please help support our sponsors. We have Simply Clean Foods. Primary focus is to bring clean food to people all around the world and change the way we look at freeze dried food in our daily cooking. As a community focused company, they strive to help our veterans through food donations and provide food to victims of natural disasters. They're dedicated to providing the best quality food you can buy next to fresh from a farmer's market. Their stringent quality controls and absolute zero GMO policy in testing for heavy metals make them unique in the storable foods market. They say just because our food is freeze dried doesn't make it just for emergencies. Our line of fruits, vegetables, and meats are suitable for everyday use, and you won't have to worry about throwing away food that you don't use. Just take out the amount you need and reseal the package for use within the next 6 months. Go to rinalyn.com to the affiliates page and please click in from there, and it'll take you straight to my page, and it'll kick back just a little bit to us to help us with our cost. Thank you so much for supporting our sponsors. Marina sent you. Yep. They're all starting wrong. Are you looking for a cozy escape? Visit an English style tea room in downtown Kilgore, Texas, where every bite is a taste of tradition. From delicious sandwiches and scones to the finest teas, we've got something for every craving. Are you planning a special event? Our charming space is perfect for private parties, baby showers, and more. Treat yourself today at the Grand Empress Tea Room where good food and great memories are made. Tell them Rena sent you. And folks, if you like this platform and you want to help us stay on the air, you want to add something to it, send me an email at askrenalyn@yahoo.com and get on renalyn.com. Hit that donate button, hit like, share, and subscribe if you are on YouTube, Rumble, or Brighteon. We'd love to have you. And if you have a story, if you have a book you'd like to write, I own the publishing company. I'm putting together a book right now of stories just like Trisha Knapp's, and people will have their own chapter. If you would like to add your story in there, just get with me again on askrenalyn@yahoo.com. And now we'll go back and speak with Trisha some more. Trisha, I have a question. All right, a lot of people have stuff happen to them, and they get through that hard time, and now they're back in their regular life, and they go on. They may tell their story about back then, but they're always looking back then, but it really doesn't promote them to do anything to give back to the people who's helped them, or to even think anything about it except be so profoundly grateful that they had the help when they needed. So what would you tell people to motivate them and inspire to look around in their own area, use their story, what's happened to them, or even if they've not, and begin to do something similar to start a program in their town, in their neighborhood, in their area, where people who need the help can really get it and have their dignity taken care of and their heart while they're at it?
Well, what I would say that people could start up doing is basically, like I said, just making a simple free Facebook group. and having it on there, you make the rules that you want to make in your group. And like we have, like I said, the main rule is no money exchange. But we also make sure that there is like no ignorant comments or anything like that. We take all that out of there. So what I would say is just make it a platform and just start talking and sharing it to the other areas that are around them and talking to other people that are doing the same type of things and just literally sharing. It's, networking and things like that. And then you're going to meet the people that you need and you just keep talking. Don't get silent. You might be like, oh, well, there's nobody watching my videos, or there's not this, or there's not that. That one person that likes your videos, you don't know what that video could have did for them that day. You don't know what they were going through. So just telling them, that they're not alone, that they can reach out to somebody, and I'll sit here and talk to you like, hi, you don't know me, but I'm here. How you doing? Just to know that somebody's there for you is amazing. So just keep talking. Don't silence yourself. Keep talking. They will listen. People are listening. I promise you.
I've already got scheduled to interview a lady. The name of her book is actually Unsilenced. And you will like her
Oh wow.
story. It's extremely interesting. Her name, it's Natalie. Natalie, I can't. Her last name escapes me, and usually the book's laying right here, but I've got it over by my chair because I've been reading it. But I'll send you a link, and everyone that you know that's had a rough story, just send it on to them because Natalie has a fantastic story, and she's been gracious enough to put it in the book form for us so that we can read it. And one of the things that I love to encourage people to is that silence will kill you. It paralyzes you. Fear of other people paralyzes you. And sometimes people are trapped. I know even in my own life, there's been times that I was telling Coach Dave this literally on last week's show, is especially with women's ministry groups. You've got the speaker, she comes in, she's polished, she's beautiful, she tells her story, and something like what happened to you or me or someone else happened way out back in their past, and they'll walk them through it, and then at the end, all this wonderful thing happened. It's tied up in a pretty bow. And women
Great.
particularly seem to need that type of story and, entertainment or group or whatever you wanna call it, meeting, just the women's ministry dinner, but not everybody's there yet. So when you were in your rough part of your life, what was the thing that made such an impact to you that helped you get to where you're not in that place in your life, but you also love people the way that you do. You touch people the way that you do. Even feral animals they've now experienced your love and they come in, they have a home. What was that one definable thing that you can say, that's something I'll never forget?
Jessica pulled in my driveway with my bed on top of her car because let me tell you the story. I told you we were, sleeping on the couch bed. And I sat on it and I looked at the bar and I knew the bar looked funny. And I actually ended up giving birth a week earlier than what I was supposed to because my water broke and I didn't know. But when I sat on the bed, it folded up like this. And I started laughing and I'm going to say it. I started peeing. I was pregnant. I was getting ready to pop. I was pregnant with twins. It happens. Well, it was a little bit more. It was a little bit water. But when I looked over at my 6'4" husband, and he's still folded up in the couch like this. I lost it even more. I had to scoot farther away from the bed. But Jessica, she came and she drove over an hour to go pick the bed up and then brought it to us and then probably about another 30-minute trip back home. And like I said, she brought it on top of a Ford Focus, a king size bed with ratchet straps and bungee cords because of our fun day falling. But that was funny. I mean, I know my water broke and it came a little earlier than what it was supposed to, but I'll never forget looking back and seeing a 6'4" man folded up inside of the couch.
Let's see, where that's a fun memory. One of the things I like about, on the literature that I have on you is that central to your ethos is a belief that hope is a very powerful catalyst for change. And when I'm with you, when I hear you speak, I feel that bubbly hope. I feel that joy coming from you, even across the electronics. So What in you do you believe brings that joy that you so generously spread to other people, or that hope?
Helping others. I mean, being where I was and just knowing that, like, I literally thought that there wasn't good people around, that everybody did drugs and everybody just, it just wasn't out there. And now, like, I'm around people and I'm seeing different that, okay, I was wrong. I was totally wrong. But just being around people and being able to help people and knowing, like, you know, I don't know, knowing that I'm inspiring people, that's what makes me so, just, hi, I'm here. And, and whenever we're at the events and stuff, I like to be bubbly and loud, and you got to come over here and see us because we can help you. Come here, come here, come here, and stuff like that. It's just, I don't know, you got to get the word out there because maybe it's not them that need help, but maybe their sister or their cousin or their friend or somebody.
I love that. And tell us a little bit about the events too, but you just said something, you got to get the word out there because people need help. So why don't you share with our listeners on the radio, and then I'll have the video on here. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting your audio connect with the pictures that I have, but tell them how they can help you financially to give back to others if they should want to. And tell us about the events that you go to where you let people know what you're doing.
Okay. You can find us on Facebook, our Facebook page, and that would have a link to our website, as well as we have the pictures on our flyer, and then also on our page for the Venmo or Cash App or PayPal or something like that. Or you can also, like, just send it to us to our address, which is the 4863 Old Merrimack Terrace Loop, Robertsville, Missouri 63072, and you can literally make it out to Blessings or Miracles. Um, and then what we do at the events is we bring stuff. Like I said, I used to be on heroin, which was actually fentanyl. It was carfentanil and China White. And my best friend in 2017 actually passed away in a car accident. Her husband was driving. They relapsed. He nodded out and she died. So I like to promote Narcan very, very much so. I know that that wouldn't have saved her because she was actually ejected from the vehicle and landed underneath it. But I that's one thing that I fight against is fentanyl, and I promote Narcan, and most people are like, "Oh, I don't need that." But I try to explain to them that, like, say your grandchild or your child's walking down the street and they pick up what they believe is a Tic Tac, and it's one of the fentanyl pills or whatever, and they put it in their mouth. If you have the Narcan, you just saved your grandchild's life or your child's life. So I feel like everybody should have it, even if they're not an addict. Also, the other things we do is we just basically hand out free stuff. I always have women's hygiene products in a bucket so that you can come up and pick what you need, because I know everybody doesn't use the tampons or the pads or back and forth. So I let them pick what they want. We get other organizations that are helping us, like Project Linus. We have 52 blankets in the car right now that they made for children 18 and under. And we'll be handing those out tomorrow. They are free as well. Everything we hand out is free. And whenever they come to us, we just basically give them the resources. They tell us what they're in need of. This is what we got right now. This is what we can help you with. Connect us on here. Call me. Find us on Facebook. Follow us. Things like that. I mean, then we
This is a
have.
faith-based radio station, and I'm a faith-based, show. So do you do anything with the local churches? Are you did the Lord help you through any of this as well, personally?
God's helped me through everything. If it, I mean, that's all there is to it. Everybody asks me all the time, like, well, how do you do it? Because we really don't get donations in. We just get, like, people that donate the food items that we put in the pantries or that we bring to the people. And when they ask me, I'm like, God. And some people look at me like, are you serious? Did she just say that? I am dead serious. Because when we don't have the gas money and we get a family that calls and they're like, oh, we're hungry, we haven't had anything to eat, we don't get our food stamps for 3 more days or whatever, all of a sudden something will hit, like, in the account, oh, $8 hit. And I'm like, that's gas money right there. That was God. So everything happens. And he's there. He's in every bit of it. If it wasn't for him, I would not be where I am today. There is no doubt in my mind.
And what about the local churches? Do they join with you? Have you reached out to them?
Actually, Peace Lutheran in Washington, Missouri helps with the homeless around here. And we were helping raise funds for them. And we also went there several times with the hand warmers, the toe warmers, socks, food, because they opened their doors from it was like 6 to 11 at night on the nights that it was freezing, and they also gave vouchers to the local. There's a local hotel that they give vouchers to. There's like 5 vouchers for men, 5 vouchers for women, but they did have their own overnight shelter going on. But they were actually shut down by the fire department because of the sprinkler system, and they would have to literally redo it all the way from the road all the way to the church, the line for the sprinklers to work okay. And they're doing their own fundraisers for it. And we were able to raise, it was like $317 or something, I believe, for them. So,
That is great. And is your website, is it blessingsaremiracles.com or something different?
well, it's at a Wix site. So it's like www.tiestick.com/blessings or miracles. So you can find it if you go to my Facebook page, Blessings or Miracles, and follow it. It will be on there. You can click the link. It will bring you there.
Audience, I really encourage you to go to her, Facebook page, excuse me, Blessings Are Miracles, and click through to her website and find a way to help her help other people because you can tell by talking to Trisha, this isn't something self-centered that she's doing. She that love of other people, that absolute joy of the Lord, it bubbles out of her and her whole entire focus is to help other people. And I so admire you, and I'm so glad to have the opportunity to meet you and interview you. And maybe down the road we can collaborate on a couple things and maybe do something different as
Yeah,
my platform grows as well. We got 1 minute left, so just tell us whatever you want the audience to know.
I'm going to say it again. Do not forget that you are loved. You are enough. And no matter what it is you're going through, we can get through it together. Hashtag better together. And remember, we're blessings or miracles, and we pass blessings, not judgment.
Amen. I love that so much. And Tricia, we'll have you back on the program down the road, and I'll get with you privately behind the scenes, and we'll see what we can do to help each other. And you guys, if you have a story to tell, if you have a ministry like Trisha's, if you've got something you want to share with other people, contact me at Ask Rina Lynn at yahoo.com, and we will see if we can get you on the air and get you some attention out there because people need to hear these stories and they need that help. I'll join you next week for Total Freedom on RinaLynn.com. Click in from there or go to revelationradio.net on Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock Central, and you can hear us on the radio or we're on Rumble, YouTube, or Brighteon.
Thank you.